right, we have some breaking inputs coming in on the same story. The inside track of ED's probe into the SSC scam during yesterday's raid. That's what CNN News 18 has discovered. The ED found documents related to common financial interest to Partha and Arpita. Now, the ED is facing immense difficulty in the interrogation of Arpita Mukherjee. Yesterday evening, during questioning, Arpita Mukherjee kept on crying. The ED sources have told CNN News 18 that Arpita, during her questioning, said, "Sir se पूछो, ये पैसा मेरा नहीं है." Partha Chatterjee, in the meantime, during his questioning, has also denied knowledge of the cash with Arpita Mukherjee. For more details, let's quickly go across to Ashish Maharishi, who's been tracking the ED. Ashish, where did the cash come from if Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee both are alleging that they are victims of a conspiracy?
As we speak, the Enforcement Directorate, I spoke to my sources in the Enforcement Directorate and they tell me that they are facing immense difficulty in questioning Arpita as well as Partha. Partha is usually evasive, he's silent, he does not talk too much, he does not answer to the questions of the Enforcement Directorate, and at the same time says that it's a conspiracy, he is being framed. But at the same time, questioning Arpita is an immense difficulty. What I've been told by my sources in the Enforcement Directorate is that whenever she is interrogated, yesterday evening it was a really problematic scene that they had to face, because she just kept on crying and saying, "Ye paisa mera nahi hai, aap sir se पूछो." Sir, we all know is who. So she's basically putting the blame on Partha Chatterjee. She's saying that this money does not belong to her. The money basically belongs to Partha Chatterjee. That is what she's trying to claim. But at the same time, we all know that, this case has to stand on its own legs in the court of law. And any statement under Prevention of Money Laundering Act is admissible in the court of law as evidence, we all know. So here, the statement of Arpita and Partha is going to be really, really important.
Right.
They are under custody for 9-10 days with Enforcement Directorate, and they have to get the statement going so that they can file the charge sheet in the due course. But here, immense difficulty, that is what they are facing, and she continues to say almost for every question she says, "Sir se पूछो, ये पैसा मेरा नहीं है."
Right, stay with us, Ashish, because I'm also joined in by Saugata Mukhopadhyay, who's been very closely tracking the story as well. Saugata, we heard a very important observation being made by Ashish over there. He says that whatever statements that come from, whether it is from Partha or Arpita Mukherjee, it's going to hold merit in the court of law as far as PMLA is concerned. Seeing how Arpita Mukherjee has been, how inconsolable she's been, and the fact that she's been transferring the blame on to Partha Chatterjee, how is this now going to pan out in the court of law?
Well, we have the latest Supreme Court directives on this matter, and Supreme Court has empowered the Enforcement Directorate so that the statements given by Arpita Mukherjee would be very, very significant. Also of Partha Chatterjee, let me tell you that there is a lot of buzz right now in front of me at the ESI hospital in Kolkata, where both the suspects have been taken in for medical examination, and there is a possibility that they are coming out right now. So we will try and talk to these people. They are coming out. Let me give you the alert. We are giving you the visuals live. Partha Chatterjee is coming out, and we'll try and talk.
Alright, so we're seeing live visuals of Partha Chatterjee coming out, being wheeled out of the hospital in Kolkata as our correspondent Saugata Mukhopadhyay trails behind his wheelchair. He's now being ferried inside the car. Remember, it's been around 2 hours roughly. Alright, let's listen into what he has to say.
Hello, let me tell you, we have an exclusive interview from Partha Chatterjee here, where he says that the decision taken by the party may be very, very wrongly timed, and it can, impact the fairness of investigation. That is what Partha Chatterjee told CNN News 18 just now, that the timing of the decision of decisions taken by the party is wrong. It's incorrect. It has been taken at the wrong time and is likely to impact the fairness of investigation. You can see Partha Chatterjee being taken away. We just spoke to Partha Chatterjee right now. We just spoke to Partha Chatterjee right now, and he has told us, he has told CNN News 18 that the timing of the decision taken by the party to remove him from his position and to remove him from not just the administration but also from the party is wrongly timed and is likely to hamper the fairness of investigation. That is the opinion of Partha Chatterjee. It is wrongly timed, is what he says. I also asked him the question of who is the conspirator. He is talking about him becoming a victim of conspiracy. I asked him quite flatly, who is the conspirator, to which he said something which we did not get to understand very clearly in the chaos. I will try and pick that audio up once again for you after I am through with this this live session, and only then can I firmly tell you in a confirmed manner as to how Partha Chatterjee replied to that question of mine. But the second question that I put him, and I got that opportunity to put him that second question about the conspiracy and the decision of the party, he said it was wrongly timed and it will adversely impact the fairness of investigation, the partiality. He says that the investigation can be adversely and partially impacted. The fairness of investigation can be impacted because of the decision taken by the party. That is what Partha Chatterjee told CNN News 18 just before he left the ESI hospital here in Joka just a short while back.
Right, Shaukato, in fact, going by what you're just telling us, and those are some brazen claims being made by Partha Chatterjee as we speak, but the situation actually remains like a catch-22 situation. While Partha Chatterjee holds it against his party for suspending him, saying that, this was a wrong decision and that this will be impacting the investigations. The fact of the matter is that the TMC's decision is based on what is been happening as far as the current ongoing investigations of the ED are concerned.
That's right. The party is quite steadfast. It has given its reasons as to why it has taken the decision it has taken about removing him from all positions of the party. Mamata Banerjee, the Chief Minister, of course, has not quite, given out any kind of detailed explanation as to why she decided to remove Partha Chatterjee from the cabinet. But it is obvious that it was under the adverse public perception that was being created against the Trinamool Congress party. The government had to react. Mamata Banerjee has been saying that if someone has been found guilty, she doesn't even mind if life imprisonment is awarded to that person. But in this particular case, Mamata Banerjee acted even before that verdict came in a court of law as to whether Partha Chatterjee is guilty or not. But the kind of evidence that has been stacking up against Partha Chatterjee, even Mamata Banerjee realizes that the public perception is something that she needs to obviously cater to, take care of, even if she decides not to give too much of an importance to the opposition opposition statements. So obviously under the current circumstances, which Abhishek Banerjee also reiterated, stating that circumstantial evidence was such that the benefit of doubt had to be given to the people and not to to the neta, not to the leader. So under the circumstances, the party is very clear about its stand. But here, Partha Chatterjee, for the first time, clearing that stand as to what his particular position is, talking to CNN News 18, telling us that the timing of the decision taken by the party is wrong and will adversely impact the fairness of investigation. It will adversely impact the fairness of investigation, is what Partha Chatterjee is very, very clear about at this point in time when he left this ESI hospital. Back to you.
Absolutely, Shaukato. And having said that, I'd also like you to give a minute to how all guns are now being trained at Mamata Banerjee. It's not just Partha Chatterjee who's been accusing his party of victimizing him. It's also the BJP. We heard what Shehzad Poonawalla had to say. He's now demanding explanations. The BJP is demanding explanation in terms of why no action has been taken against Paresh Adhikari. We already know that Manik Bhattacharya as well is under the ED scanner, but it's important for you to establish how TMC and the party high command, that is Mamata Banerjee, is now under pressure.
There is no doubt about it. It's doubtless that Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Shaukato. Please go ahead.
All right. So yes, the stand taken by the party is obviously reflective of the kind of political pressure it is currently under. There is no doubt about it. And why that political pressure? Less from the opposition. Mamata Banerjee, the best I understand the way she functions. There is, she may have sustained this pressure for a little while longer if it had only been the opposition's pressure, the pressure from the BJP, the pressure from the left, the pressure all around her. That is something that she is used to working with. She may have sustained that pressure for a little while longer. We do not know when she would have succumbed to it, but she may have sustained it a little while longer. Why she couldn't sustain, for a long time is because perhaps of the fact that the perception in public domain about the Trinamool Congress government was dipping very, very sharply. And why so? Because one after the other, premises of Arpita Mukherjee, which were raided, were, being, found with heaps of cash, ornament, jewelry, property deeds, this, that. Obviously, these were concrete evidences of corruption, and there was no doubt in anyone's mind as to the relationship that Partha Chatterjee has with Arpita Mukherjee. She is a very close confidant of Partha Chatterjee. So obviously, the Partha Chatterjee could not have, stayed away from it, absolved of it, and by extension, the Trinamool Congress could not have stayed away from it, any longer because of the perception in the public domain that was sharply dipping with every haul of cash, ornament, property, all kinds of evidences of corruption popping out from Arpita Mukherjee's residence, a commoner, so to say, who has no links with the government, who has no links with the party.
Right.
Why would these concrete evidences of corruption in the School Service Commission recruitment scam be popping out from her properties?
Right.
Only possible reason is because of her link with Partha Chatterjee, the close link that she
Shaukato, we are going to discuss that
with Partha Chatterjee, and that the party could not deny.
Shaukato, we'll be discussing that at greater length, but before I do that and take my other questions from Kamalika and Ashish, who've also been very patiently awaiting their turn, let's also quickly dip into that audio of Partha Chatterjee shortly before he was wheeled out of the hospital. so we heard what Partha Chatterjee had to say, reiterating it again for the benefit of our viewers. He's crying conspiracy, saying that the decision taken by his party was wrong and is going to adversely affect the investigations. Having said that, Kamalika, if I could come to you, we just heard what Shogato had to say. He's made an interesting point. He's saying that the link between Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee, which still has not been clearly established, still is going to be very crucial now as far as the ED is concerned, because so far what we've learnt is that she's been a close aide to Partha Chatterjee and that she's been a confidant to him. But what was the relationship exactly like? That is the big question that still remains to be answered.
Yeah, obviously this thing is definitely, though Partha Chatterjee is saying that it's a conspiracy. Now, what type of conspiracy, whether there is a conspiracy or not, if there is a conspiracy, he has every right to go to court and seek justice. That's there. That's also what we are, the moment this comment came in, the moment he said that he is a victim of conspiracy, we were talking to a number of leaders from Trinamool Congress and our sources in Trinamool Congress. That benefit of doubt has been given to the people. That is how Trinamool Congress is. That's what the stand of Trinamool Congress is. If it is a conspiracy, which party backhand obviously thinks that this is a conspiracy, then now, since circumstantial evidences have come in, now he has to prove that he is clean. That is, again, yesterday also that has been told in their press conference. Now, the relationship between Arpita Mukherjee and Partha Chatterjee and the way they were linked, so many deeds have come up, so many properties have come up. If bringing in so much of huge amount of cash is a conspiracy, then what about the deeds? Who signed the deeds? This question, and our colleague Ashish is there, who's been constantly tracking all the inside stories from the ED, and also Shogato. We are all getting information from ED that, inside the interrogation, it's Arpita who is reacting. Now, at present, when she was in hospital, there also, inside, she reacted very badly, and she said that everything is known to Partha Chatterjee. And the fact is that this is not something that it's a 2 years relationship. The documents say it's a relationship of more than 10 years, because somebody with whom I will buy a property, I will have a good relation with that person. Only then I will buy a joint property. These things are there.
Right.
So, Partha Chatterjee and the comment which he made on the party, obviously the party will not like it because the situation is such that there is no other way. Circumstantial evidence is there. What the party would have been done. Rightly pointed out by Shogato that it is because of Mamata Banerjee. She is a very strong leader, she herself is a street fighter. That's why she could hold on to this. It's not, it is more of public perception than the opposition pressure. That's what led to the decision.
Right. So, hold on to those thoughts, Kamalika, because it's also time to take a question from Ashish. Ashish, as has been pointed out earlier, there are so many questions that remain unanswered. And I know that, the matter is currently under investigation. But as journalists, it's our duty to touch upon those angles that will now be probed. And that's why I'd like you to take our viewers through all those questions that remain to be answered. At the same time, the mystery of that shell company which has been registered under the same address of the property that is owned by Arpita Mukherjee.
There is a company which is registered there. What business it was doing, we still need to find out. The company's name was basically Zamira Sunshines Limited. Now, there have been, it is mystery after mystery. What was this company doing? This company was registered in the year 2017. That is what we have been able to find out from the records. But we still need to find out who the shareholders are. It takes a little while. Who's basically the real owner of this company, as well as the company is registered on this address. So, but if you see the directors, you don't see Partha Chatterjee's or Arpita Mukherjee's name. The director's name, as of now on record, is absolutely different from Partha and Arpita Mukherjee. So let's see how things move forward as of now, but it's like mystery after mystery. What I can confirm as of now is that ED officials are facing immense difficulty in questioning Arpita Mukherjee, because you would have seen the visuals outside the hospital. She is continuously sobbing. She is continuously crying. She is not answering to the questions of Enforcement Directorate. All she says, "Sir se पूछो ये पैसा मेरा नहीं है." So it means she is indicating that the money belongs to Partha Chatterjee. But when Partha Chatterjee is questioned at length by the Enforcement Directorate, he denies. He says he's got nothing to do with this cash. But so the mystery deepens every day. Every day new findings come out. Yesterday, when the Enforcement Directorate raided a house, in fact, we have been able to tell our viewers that there are at least 10 properties in the name of Arpita Mukherjee. And in the yesterday's raid, it has been found that there are documents which reveal that there is a common financial interest of both Arpita and Partha. So they can't distance themselves so easily, because the records easily show that they have been in touch with each other. They have been confident of each other. They have financial interest with each other. That is what even Kamalika has been saying, that their relationship goes at least a decade back. So when a relationship goes at least a decade back, then and there are records which very clearly show that you have common financial goals or common financial interests, then it will be very difficult for them to distance against each other. Till now, they have not been confronted in one room together. So once that happens, that's going to be interesting. But as of now, she has been sobbing, she has been crying, she is not answering to the questions, and all she says, "Sir se पूछो ये पैसा मेरा नहीं है."
Right, very rightly pointed out. Shaukato, if I could come to you for my next question. We've just heard what Ashish had to say. The fact that they've not been confronted together actually leaves those possibilities of answering all these remaining questions, those mysteries that are now surfacing day by day, whether it is the cars that have now gone missing, which now also allude to reports that one of them perhaps may have been flooded with cash, or whether it's the mystery of the shell company, or even something as simple in terms of what was the relationship like between Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee.
Well, there are concrete evidences to suggest that the two knew each other very closely since 2012. So the relationship, whatever that nature of the relationship was, at least goes back to 2012, which is a decade ago. It could be more. What we also know for a fact that from the documents that have been seized by the ED, and this we have from our sources in the ED, that the seizure list that has been prepared from Arpita Mukherjee's multiple residences, show the presence of documents and joint deeds in the names of Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee. And these are properties, not just residential properties, but also companies, properties which were acquired in the name of companies. So joint deeds, linking the two of them together. So there is absolutely no way that Partha Chatterjee can actually de-link himself, at least on financial relationship with Arpita Mukherjee. As far as the interrogation details that are coming out from our sources in the ED, both Ashish and I have been pointing out that Arpita Mukherjee has been breaking down during the course of investigation as far as the money trail is concerned, and the stack, the cash stack is concerned, and fingers, she is obliquely pointing fingers to Partha Chatterjee is also what we are getting. Similarly, if you look at this,
Shaukato, I'm running short of time. I would really like our viewers to listen into what Partha Chatterjee had to say before being ferried away. On that note, many thanks to Shaukato, Kamalika and Ashish for bringing in those details.
Unfurling the Tiranga and the Har Ghar Tiranga in Jammu and Kashmir like it is across the rest of the country. Ladies and gentlemen, there are those who do not want this happening.
Let me take that point about the Gandhis being untouchable. It is a fact that when other Congress leaders were questioned by the agency in this very case, there were no such protests.
Monojit, can I ask a simple question? Be better served if there are discussions that happen inside Parliament rather than this kind of disruption, this kind of placard waving, which has led to the suspension.
The evidence that clearly takes questions to his doorstep, can the party continue to say that if he is involved in corruption, then only we will take action?